All my exposure to the trauma room had familiarized me with hospital codes, doctor shorthand, and medical lingo. I'd watched teams leap into action over and over. I was comfortable with the pace. Or so I thought. A few minutes into the shift, we received a call that a patient was on their way. It was a suspected drug overdose. Firefighters had been working on a young man for 30 minutes already. They weren't sure how long he had been down before they arrived. My supervising physician turned to me. "You are performing CPR." No easing me in. I'd be jumping headfirst into this hands-on experience. "Gown, gloves, mask on. He will be here in 5 minutes. Let's go." I panicked. My heart rate spiked. I started breathing fast. I lost my bearings. It took a few seconds to remember where the protective gear was kept. I fumbled getting my gown on. Everything and everyone around me were moving so fast. Those hours I had put in shadowing doctors, all those nights I had spent watching from the sidelines, it felt like all that experience had disappeared. In that moment, when I was about to perform CPR on a patient for the first time, when it meant helping to save someone, panic superseded what my brain knew. It took over. I had watched all this stuff happen, and now, on my first shift actually helping, all I could think was, I'm not qualified. What am I doing here? That's the thing about panic, nerves, anxiety. Those emotions have the ability to push all the knowledge you have from your brain, if you let them. The patient hadn't arrived yet. I was trying to tie back my hair, and those familiar movements forged a connection in my brain. It reminded me of tying back my hair before a game. And suddenly, everything slowed down. It hit me that I'd handled high-pressure situations hundreds of times before. I knew how to calm my mind. I knew how to push aside the panic and anxiety and access the knowledge I had. I took a breath and told myself, get a grip. I isolated what my specific job was, CPR. Not so difficult. All I had to do was put the heel of my hand at the center of the patient's chest and do compressions. Others around me would perform their roles. I had to push 30 times, to the tempo of Stayin' Alive. I repeated the song over and over to myself as I pushed. At one point, my glasses fell off and got kicked into a corner. All I kept thinking was, do your job. Just do your job. I took solace in knowing that I was the rookie. There were 10 vets in the room with me. I could count on them to guide me through this, in the same way Danielle Goyette, Angela James, Geraldine Heaney, and France St. Louis had guided me in my first games for Team Canada when I was a teen. For the next 40 minutes, I performed CPR in 2-minute intervals, trading off with a partner. Everyone else did what they were supposed to do. I don't remember exactly what was going on around me. I was pretty focused on my job. There were firefighters standing off to the side, watching. A couple of nurses put in an IV and attached monitors to the young patient. Then, the doctor told me to stop. It was over. She declared his time of death. He was the same age as my son. Looking at him lying there, I could imagine what he must have looked like as a little boy. I kept thinking about his poor mom and shed a few silent tears for them both. The team had to quickly move on to get ready for the next trauma, but I stood there for a few moments, my hand on his arm, wondering what had led him to this ending. I hope wherever you're going is a beautiful place, I said. In that moment, he looked like he was asleep, at peace. It was tough.